Okay, to summarize, you can assign functions to variables, just like you can assign numbers or strings to variables. You can put functions in arrays or other data structures, just like you can put numbers or strings in arrays or other data structures. You can pass functions into functions, just like you can pass numbers or strings into functions. You can return functions from functions, just like you can return numbers or strings from functions. You can create functions without assigning them to local variables, anonymous functions, just like you can use numbers or strings without assigning them to variables first. And this one isn't exactly parallel to numbers and strings, but you can create functions, these are called closures, that capture local variables. This is extremely advanced. This is the most difficult concept in this entire lecture, one of the most difficult concepts in the entire series of lectures, but it's a very important one. And then finally, much more simply, if you have arguments that are already in an array and you have a function that expects the arguments to be passed in separately, you can use the apply method with null as the first argument and the array as the second argument. Now, all of this is tricky. I've said many times, practice is the key. But that's doubly true here when you have these kind of weird concepts that even the idea is difficult to wrap your mind around. With arrays, the idea was easy to wrap your mind around. The syntax is what you had trouble with. With loops, the idea, do something multiple times, was very simple, but the syntax took some practice. But here, both the idea and the syntax is complicated, so you need a lot of practice. So in addition to downloading the source code from this lecture and looking and playing around with the examples that I already showed you, you want to do exercises, but even more exercises. So on the website, I have 2 sets of exercises to let you experiment with functions. Some basic exercises, and even the basic ones will be hard the first time around. And then once you get a real grip on those, some advanced exercises that are really, stretch your limits in your understanding of functional programming. Good luck.